Jason. We've had a chat here, I think it was last time I was out at Game Over, you were up here in the hot rod.
Yeah, I was parked up in the dark, up the back.
Hiding away, but you're down the front here tonight.
Yeah.
Mate, let's have a chat about this, because what have we got going on here?
Cheap home build.
Yeah?
I wanted to prove you could still build a car at home on a budget for 10 to 12 grand.
That low? You couldn't make it? No, I was going to say.
Tapped out at about 15.
Okay, that's still not bad.
Can't complain.
Yeah. So what did you start with?
Two-wheel drive Hilux.
Okay, yep, so it's a Hilux chassis.
It's a two-wheel drive Hilux.
Yep.
It was that nice, I drove it to pick the cab up.
Yeah, right.
I brought it home and destroyed the Hilux down to just the floor.
Yep.
And lowered this cab over it.
Straight over.
I made more money selling the Hilux parts than I paid for the Hilux.
That's all right.
And I put everything else back into the car.
And what year is this cab?
This is a 39 jail bar.
Okay.
And jail bar cabs are the same from 38 through to 46.
Right.
The only difference is the 38 has 3 lines here instead of the 2.
Okay.
And you get the slight variation in the American and the Australian ones, which relates to the back window size.
That's it.
And one slage line here.
Okay.
And that's the only difference in it.
Yeah, right.
But they're still affordable. Not a lot of big guys like them. Like my other jail bar cab got handed around from 3 different hot rodders. They all said it was in the too hard basket.
Really?
I like a challenge.
So you got it going on too.
But I went too far with that car. It stopped being a rat rod and sort of progressed into a 60 show car.
Yeah.
So I pushed it to one side and.
You've still got it though?
Yeah. That's a polished aluminium Toyota Hemi.
Yeah.
300 hours with a die grinder on the chassis.
Wow.
Looks like it's dipped in plastic.
There you
so it stopped being a rat car.
Yeah. So, a bit fancy.
I've gone backwards.
Yeah. What engine are we running in here?
That's just an SS LS1.
Yep. Okay.
LS2 sump.
Yeah.
Some coil pad covers to hide the ugliness.
Yeah.
And a 6-speed manual still.
So it's nice and reliable. And
turn the key, fires up. You'd swear it's fuel injected.
Yeah.
I don't even have to be in the car when I start it. Just turn the key.
No,
I've never had to use the choke.
And it rides okay as well?
Rides
like a Hilux.
As good as a Hilux goes. And you wouldn't want it to be too nice anyway.
Yeah. How long did it take you?
Approximately 2 years on the side.
Yep.
Weekends here, weekends there. A couple of weeks off work if I had them. And just Christmas holidays.
And is it a trade for you as well? Are you a mechanic by trade? Or
I'm a shop fitter.
There you go.
Yeah. But I went to the first Australian Hot Rod Nationals when I was 2. May have affected me a little bit.
That's where it all started, eh?
So that's where it started.
What was the first car, mate?
First car?
Yeah.
Baby Poo Brown Gemini.
There you go.
I'm not too proud of it.
Did you do it up?
No.
No?
I crashed that, then moved into an LH Tirana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mark 1 Cortina after that.
Yeah.
After that I lost count for years. There's been T-buckets and V8 Morris Minors and V8 Volvos and some weird stuff along the way.
And it's all been fun.
Yeah, all been fun. Yeah.
What a great story, mate. I appreciate you telling us today.
Thank you.
Mate. G'day, Gavin. How are you, mate? You've got a few hecklers in the background here, yeah, cheering you on, I see, from the club. So from Customs Gold Coast, obviously. All the guys are here, yeah, having a bit of fun.
Yep.
But, mate, I wanted to talk to you about Yankee.
Yep.
Mate, tell us about this beast.
Well, 61, four-door Fleetwood, pretty much stock other than being resprayed and retrimmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a cruiser.
Yeah, right.
Compared to what I used to own. So
Yeah, now this is we were talking about this earlier. This is actually a bit bigger than what you used to drive around in, right?
yeah, just a little bit. Previous car to this was a Hilux Ute with a 13V turbo in it.
Yeah.
And then previous to that was RX2s and 808s and yeah, so I've gone from a small Jap car to a big American one. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely a lot of difference. You've also you loved your rotaries.
Yep. Yeah, I grew up with them. Come home from the hospital in the back of an RX2. But yeah, 12 months ago, sort of decided to make a change, and sort of don't really look back at the moment. I'm really enjoying the big American cruiser. So,
How do you find getting around, parking, things like that?
Actually, once you adapt to the car a little bit, it's quite easy. I don't go and park shopping centres as such too close. I park sort of over to the back, but
Sure.
you can fit in most car parks pretty good. But yeah, actually the left-hand drive is really good to drive. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Because a lot of people, even myself, think I don't know how to be with the left-hand drive because I haven't done it before.
I was exactly the same. When I first drove it, I was a little bit worried, and your right-hand turns are a little bit, funny at the start, but then you get used to them and you just take it a little bit wider. So,
You just get to know your car.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think I could go back to a small car at the moment. That's for
Really?
Sure.
Have you actually measured the length of it?
5.71.
Wow.
So it's 5 metres, 7. So and it's over a metre longer than my old Hilux, which was a single cab long wheelbase. So,
There you go.
Yeah, so
It's a monster.
big guy,
Fit
2 metres wide.
Fit 6 people
Yep.
comfortably.
6 people comfortably inside the cab.
Yep.
And probably 4 to 5 in the boot.
And on the road, does it feel big on the road?
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels big. You feel like you're taking up the whole lane.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a boat when you go around corners, but it's not built and not designed to, hammer around a corner. You're just built to cruise. So,
I bet you get a few looks and a few thumbs up.
yeah. I've actually had a guy almost completely out the window of a car on the M1 giving me thumbs up one day. I was like, well, dude, get back in the car, sort of. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, you do get a lot of acknowledgement. So.
All right. And where did your passion for cars start, mate?
My father was a mechanic.
Yeah.
So I was always around
That's
cars.
a common theme,
Yeah. Speedway and hill climb cars and everything like that. So all rotary based.
Yep.
But just sort of that's where it's been. And I tried to walk away once for about I think I lasted 3 weeks. And
Really?
then, I just couldn't handle it. So
It's like, I've got to have a car in my life.
Yeah, got to have something. Yeah, whether it's going or not, I have to have a car. So
Yeah.
So, no,
And
but
what was the first car?
my first car was a Mazda Capella.
Yep.
It was a real shitty green colour, big dent in the door. Pre-sprayed it white, put a 2-litre motor in it, then blew it up, sold that, bought an RX-7. So, and then I've had RX-7. I did a 10-year build on an RX-2. Just a lot of work, show car. RX-4s, 808s, 1300 wagons. If I was to go back to a Mazda, it'd be a 1300 wagon.
Right.
But it'd park next to this.
Yeah.
I couldn't let this go.
It's always got a spot in your heart.
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. I think my 3-year-old will probably get the keys to this one. So
Oh, that's excellent.
I don't think this will go anywhere. So.
We know where their passion will start too then.
Yeah, he's Hot Wheels crazy. So I think he's already got over 1,000 Hot Wheels. So.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Start them right. Well done, Gavin.
That's it.
And appreciate you having a talk with us, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
G'day, Overtakers.
Hey.
How are we going? I have to play the intro. I'll play it. Alright, here we
Lost a
are.
bit of weight.
How are we going, everyone?
I got terrible internet, so that's how I'm going. So I've got no chat open at the moment because it's like been refreshing now for 5 minutes. But NBN is down.
And I've got Boost.
So you got what?
Boost.
You got Boost. You do have Boost. NBN is down. We apologise if we have any lagging tonight, but we've got bloody Telstra issues again. After they finally sorted it out, got us on NBN. Things were good last week. It was great. You got messages going everywhere there.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it was great, and we were ready to step it up to 1080. Right, get out of the old 720 and step it up to 1080 and get some better quality picture. But yeah, it's dead. What do you reckon, Tyler? Shout out time.
It's kind of annoying that the internet's dead.
Yeah.
Because I was looking forward to step it up to 1080 this week, get it all going. And we did have a pretty hectic storm though.
And there's no ETA of when it's going to be back. Sending a technician Tuesday. Yay. That doesn't help us any.
No.
So
let's do some shout outs to the
you
chat.
do that because I can't see anyone yet.
Gleno, Chris Young, Johnny Skidpig, Marv, Stephen Jackson, James Bayless, Scott Sherrington, Trevor Smith, No More Racing, Lynn Hamilton, Sally H, Paige, Matt Crick. How are we all going?
Hey guys, hey, thanks for joining.
Pistol, we've got Pete.
We saw Pete, yeah, on the weekend. All right, I've got chat. Chat's opened.
We got Scott Hoffman, the Hoff's in the chat.
He's now.
He said try NBN and VoIP phones for a business. Not so good right now.
Oh, having problems there too. So, Hoff, you just joined in to see if we talk anything that might give away some challenge information. Hey, that could be it. We did buy a car this week or two.
Yeah,
maybe a couple. Dudes, look out. Our bank account's looking a bit sad for both of us, isn't it? So, but yeah.
You've got James VH83, Roy Ferntorp, Big Keg.
Hey, everyone's jumping in.
All right, we got some questions.
Ask the questions. I'll line up our first slide.
James Baylor said, "Lol's got to love the NBN."
Yeah.
James also said, "Is Tyler putting too much boost already?" No, I just found out how to activate high boost today, so now I have 14 PSI instead of just 10.
Yeah, there we go.
And g'day Zig, how you going?
G'day mate, how are you?
And Aaron Fuller, how you going?
Aaron's here as well. So we've got to meet Aaron as well on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We met a lot of people on the weekend. Didn't we? So.
And Hoff said, "Lol, you know it."
He's waiting for secrets. Superformance, we'll throw those guys up there because you know, if you've been a regular watcher, that they are a supporter of the show, particularly the live show. And we were up there on Saturday.
Yep.
So that's where we were last Saturday.
Down under.
Yep. We were just there hanging out, meeting people, and Cody come and saw us.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out for a bit, took some photos, young Code.
And then we were hanging out with Nathan from MTAQ.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we had a little stall set up there. That was pretty cool. We did a few bits and pieces on the weekend. What else did we do? Let's talk about the weekend.
We went to Nostalgia Drags.
Did we do something Friday night?
We did the Game Over show, which has already been released. You've already seen it?
Yeah, hopefully you've already seen it. If you haven't, check that one out once you're done here tonight. We did play some of it at the start of the video, but we didn't go live quite as early as we thought we did.
Yeah.
We had it playing for like half an hour and didn't realise it wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So we did start a bit late on that. But yeah, that's already out.
Yep, and then we got the MTAQ coming up next week.
Yep, Cars and Coffee. That turned out really good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like
for the weather, it was like bucketing down rain when we were driving in there.
We cruised, even from Gold Coast, cruised out. It was pouring rain. I'm like, this is not going to be a good video. No one's going to show up. But it was a good crowd.
Yeah.
For that weather, it was really good. So yeah, Superformance. I just saw a message from Big Keg pop up on my screen too.
He said congratulations on 3K.
Hey, thanks
and
man.
Also, and Pete said as well, knocked over the 3K subs. Nice one.
Yeah, we did. Through the week, it did jump over 3K. It sat like stagnant for ages, and it slowed right down, didn't it? You know, because we're like, I want to hit 3,000, I want to hit 3,000, and it slowed right down, and then it was virtually didn't move for 2 weeks, didn't it? It hardly moved at all. Then it started to get up closer and closer, and then it was like, I think about 6 or 7 off. And then it sat there for a couple of days. And then it just jumped straight up to 3,007 or something.
Mm.
Yeah. So we didn't actually hit the 3,000. Well, we didn't see it hit it.
Yeah, it just went straight over. By the time we were looking at it again, it was...
We got a heap
up
through.
over 3K, yeah.
And I think I looked today and it was about 3,004. We'd lost a few.
Hmm.
So a couple of people might not like game over video.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, well.
It happens.
No More Racing says, who's hitting up Maddo's skids 28th of March and Bundy skids 16th of May?
Yeah, 16th of May. 28th of March is no. We got 2 things on 28th of March, and that's Hyundai XL Cup starts at Morgan Park Raceway, first round, which we probably won't make for the first round either. We'll probably get out there on the second round, but Salubrious Day on the Dirt is one that we'll go to, the Dirt Drags, which is always pretty good.
The Hoff said they bought a car, also from northern New South Wales, paid the spawn of Ethel 2 days so far, removing the mould and human filth from it.
We got a great car. You have no idea how good the car is that we got. So I feel really bad to actually do what we're going to do with it. So I'm like, this is a good car.
Yeah,
except for the electric turbo thing that's hooked up in it.
Drove it around.
Yeah. So the young fella, I've forgotten his name. I think it was Matt. I think it was his name. He did have it listed for quite a bit more than what we paid, and he dropped the price. So basically with a promise to come and watch us race it, and an option to buy it back after all the mods are done for whatever we spend on it. So, but he already had a couple of cars, and I think he had to move it on as well. But it worked out really well for us. It is quite a good car. It's got its issues. It's a cheap car. Yeah. But for what it is, it's
like that electric turbo.
It's pretty good. Yeah, he did have an electric turbo hidden in there. It was like, what is that thing? Hang on, there's wires running. I'm like, this says turbo, what the? And it was like a sound effects electric turbo with a button hooked to the pedal. So when he floored it,
it's like just think the MCM, just think the MCM Civic.
Yeah, so
from years and years ago.
They did that.
Yeah, they had speakers in there.
Yeah, that was it. It had a little button on the accelerator pedal. When it hits the floor, goes. Quite funny. We had a good laugh, and we got some video of it. It'll be in the video when we show the video of that build and what's coming up.
And Mal says congrats on 3K. Cheers, thank you. G'day, Shane Fitzgerald's in the chat. How you going? Roy said Cars and Coffee was really cool. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Matty
Crick says, good on you for 3K. MRDBR Enduro, good channel if you're into bikes. We'll have to check it out.
Okay.
G'day, Rodney. How you going?
Hey, mate.
James Baylor says, well done with the 3K. Knocking on 5K soon enough. Hopefully so.
Yeah, we'll just keep counting through them. But
Gleno said, was a big weekend for car shows. Enjoy the few minutes at every one I went to.
Yeah, we got to a few, and Gleno was you were at most of them. That's right. We did see you, and so was Trevor. Shout out Trevor as well. We saw him at most of the events as well. We had a great time at Nostalgia Drags too.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed
and we saw
it.
Pete, this Nostalgia Drags pistol.
Yep. And it was actually pretty good. We talked to a lot of people at Nostalgia Drags, and we'd go to tell them about, we do this YouTube channel. Oh, no, yeah, no, I watch you. Everyone, that was pretty cool. So,
Shane said, how's everyone going? Did I miss much from last week? Well, I bought a car.
Yeah.
That's what you missed.
So did I.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
more of that to come through the year.
Mark said he would have punched him out of principle for having that fake turbo on.
It was quite funny. He was 18. He was a young fella. There was a few good little finds in there. That was pretty cool.
And Big Keg says, how's the GTR? I wish it was a GTR. It's just a GDST.
Couldn't quite afford the GTR.
It is very fun, though.
Yes, yeah. We went for a little cruise earlier. Just picked it up from the shop. Was in there today. Got a little bit of work done.
Yep.
So,
just tidying some things up and
place the axle. We're ready. Tyler? Gee, no. No, it was a bit there, so we had to be swapped out, which we got done. But some of the parts that we were given with it as well didn't actually fit.
Yeah.
But the buyer, shout out to him, and it was provided he comes through. But
He is right now.
there you go. He's just messaged. Tyler did let him know that those CVs and stuff that he supplied with it didn't fit, and he said, "Oh, I'll give you some money, whatever it costs you to get it replaced today." So that was good of him. You know, I don't. You know, he certainly didn't have to, and I don't think many actually would do that.
Yeah.
Because he had no requirement to. Decent. So even after you looked at it and stuff, he put a new battery in a night before you got it and everything as well.
Yeah.
Because he said, "Oh, I've got one sitting there for it. I thought I might as well put it in." And yeah, so that was pretty cool. But it's got a bit of power.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So plenty for him for now anyway. You know, so probably about 370 at the wheels.
Yeah.
We'll send it down to you, Scotty, at some stage. Give it a tickle up, but maybe we'll probably change it to the 85 and stuff before we do that. But he'll run around as is for now.
Yeah.
And just give it a good clean up and work on it, and we'll do a few little mods, but there'll definitely be a video of it. We've already started shooting a bit of footage, but yeah,
We certainly have.
we've got a list here that we worked on today.
We got some comments. Big Keg says, "Okay, GTST still nice. It is very nice. It's in good nick." So
And it's had a lot of mods done. So there's our video list that we've got planned out already. I think we've got.
And Matty Crick says, "Got to do a video on the new car." We certainly will be.
There's 4 months of videos that we've already got lined up and planned. So we just got to get them done now.
And Aaron Fuller says, "Real driver, more fun."
Yeah, true.
And Roy says, "GDS is a better drift beast."
It's done a bit of drifting in its time.
Yeah, it has.
It's
James says,
Too
"Main
diff
thing
and
is it
everything.
makes the right whooshy noises." It certainly does. And Mal says, "Can't wait for the R33 versus the Ute."
yes, a lot of people are keen.
We've been told it should be a pretty close race.
It goes pretty hard. I mightn't be as keen. I might get beaten. Anyway, episode 36.
Well, I've been told whoever's better on the gears will be the winner.
Yeah, that's true. It's a pretty close race, but it goes pretty hard. Episode 36. That's what we're up to. Well, I said you've been Skyline facts for all these weeks, so you had to come up with something else.
The Nissan Skyline R36.
What'd you come up with?
It's actually a 33. No.
You've used that one for a few weeks.
Yeah. Matthew Kenneth Tift. He was born on June 26, 1996.
He's in chat? Oh, no, he's not in chat. No.
If he was, it'd be pretty cool. He's an American professional stock car racing driver. He last competed part-time in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, driving the number 36 Ford Mustang for Front Row Motorsports. He is currently taking the break from racing due to health issues that he suffered at the end of the 2019 season.
There you go. There's your number.
Only a young guy, 24 years of age.
There's your number 36 fact, eh? For the week. Now you got a whole week to come up with something for number 37.
Yeah.
Well,
we
did
get some more comments.
Okay, more
Scott said,
stories.
"I guarantee that those were better than the ones on the car Dave bought. The whooshy sounds."
Yes.
Yeah, mine went when you revved the engine, whereas Dave's just went when you pressed the pedal, even if the car was off.
Yeah, because it's just a switch. If you could reach behind the pedal, just hit the switch.
Johnny Skid Pig says, "Trip to Archie then." I don't know if I'll drift it anytime soon. I don't want to break anything. So, Big Keg says, "So you can drive a manual?" I certainly can. And Pete says, "Is a Your Shed segment in that list of videos?"
There is a few. We've got a few planned. We're doing one at your place, Pete. Maybe we'll come out to yours and do one out there too. Did I mention that? I don't know. We were chatting away. I spoke to so many people on the weekend. I don't know who I told what, but but yeah, there's definitely going to be some Your Shed segments coming up in there. There's at least 3 of those planned at the moment.
Yeah.
So we just got to shoot them all.
And who else? Oh, yeah, Marv said Hoff, Tyler really wants 800 horsepower on a stock block.
Well,
and James Bayless says 37 equals how much boost Tyler wants on a stock bottom end.
and as always, there was one that came up today for the same money with 550 horsepower at the wheels. So, if I had the money, I'd get one just to really rub it in, but couldn't quite do that. So, all right, first story. We're doing first story.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come back to comments. What do we got? A bit more on Holden.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot more on Holden.
Yeah, not big stories, but
no. Well, this was a multi-million-dollar Holden showroom that was only a few months from opening, and now it's never going to open.
Yeah, so just to talk about some of the effect, and I think it might have been Matty Good or someone I was talking to on the weekend. We talked about Capalaba. They just done a big upgrade,
Yeah,
but he does have other
Hyundai, I think.
Hyundai and stuff going on there too. So he'll weather it, but he obviously will lose a bit of money on having to replace all the brand new signage.
He was going to reimburse them or something. The Holden was reimbursing them for all the changes. So.
But don't know how this guy will go. $6.5 million on a brand new showroom. This is Adelaide Holden dealer. So 3 months before opening.
Yeah.
And they'll now walk away. So it's just shows the effect or the roll-on effect of the Holden closures, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the end of a. I've seen the brand around. This is going to affect a lot of people for their jobs and their livelihoods, and yeah, this guy's certainly not going to make back $6.5 million anytime quickly.
No,
I guess he'll still
not.
have a property there that he can market to someone else or another dealership, but it's going to take him a while to get his coin back without running his business in there as well. So that's apparently, there was a bit of story on Facebook about it because he'll have a complete Holden showroom but no stock in it.
Yeah.
Nothing to sell. So those pictures there behind us is from about November. They'd been around for 41 years.
And they were the best-selling dealership group of Holden vehicles.
Yeah. So there you go. And as we know, GM are retiring the Holden brand, and that's certainly everything we spoke about last week.
And Scott says, could they really not see it coming 12 months ago? Well, they started building and planning in 2017. So let's go up and scroll up some comments. Aaron Fuller says, MTAQ, coffee and cars on the list. It certainly is.
Yep.
It's next week's video.
That'll be Tuesday. You'll see that one come through.
Roy says, I boosted a 253 once and Mr. Rodney decided to leave before I got to the end of the street. Custom Dream Industries, how you going? Rob.
Hey, buddy.
Said, hello. Been a while. My first night off from working for a bit. Oh, there you go. Enjoy it.
Now, we were just talking about a Your Shed series that we're doing in the year ahead. And I know you're in progress of Your Shed, so we'll put it down the list for later. But hopefully we can pop up and do a Your Shed episode at your place at some time as well.
Glenno said, I'll have to polish the tractor to come to my barn.
Yes.
Marv said, I told him to woosa Dave and wait and see. Tyler didn't listen to me. Next week, a 700 horsepower R33 will be out for the same price.
True.
That's all right. I'm probably, if I got anything with any more power than this one, I'd probably be in a tree already.
Yeah, he's get used to that. It's a big step up from the Mirage. But it is good. Look,
it's tidy. The interior doesn't smell at all. The AC works.
Look, we were just down looking at some wheels earlier as well. Where'd we go?
Just getting some prices. Gold Coast wheels and tyres, yeah.
Having a chat down there with the guys, and he was pretty convinced that to look after it. He said they're going up in price. He said they're certainly dearer now than they were. They had dropped a bit, and then they're going back up, and he said they're going to be worth a bit. So he said don't prang it and hang on to it.
Yeah.
So, which probably leads us into our next story, talking about things going up in value.
More comments quickly
while
you switch it up. Chris Young says, got my full attention now. Sorry, had a friend pop by. No worries. Matt Crick says, at least the blokes that built it got wages.
Yeah, true.
Roy said no one was buying the fake Commodores. The writing was on the wall. Big Keg says, will HSV still be HSV? And I think it's going to be GMSV.
No, ASV.
ASV? Oh, there you go.
There you go. It will be Australian Special Vehicles. I
thought it was GM Special Vehicles.
No, it's going to be ASV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marv says
I got
worst
the
bit
word on that the
about
other
it,
day.
as auto expert said, maximum $2 million compensation from GM. Dealer got absolutely bent over and the pineapple up the butt. Rob says for sure, sounds good. Johnny Skidpig says GMSV he believes as well.
Well, I heard ASV just the other day. Some people are supposedly in the know told me that one.
Okay. Matt Crick says new Camaro is awesome. Rob says huge news for me. The new shed finally got council approved. There you go.
Oh,
Mad.
excellent.
Chris Young says drag racing season here starts soon. Hoping to post some bike vids. Do that.
That would
Sounds
be great.
good.
That would be great. We've got some
And
the Smith family racing.
and James Bayless says
Smith
not
family
even.
race, Smith brothers racing. Smith.
I don't know. I can't remember.
The Smith boys.
Smith family, I think.
The
it
Smith
is.
family and their bikes. I love to see that. Those bike vids.
James Bayless says not
That's
even
good
8
too.
PM and Dave is on his second Morgan. All right,
Maybe
let's kick
before.
over into the next one.
All right. So we
Let's kick over into the next one. And while we're talking
Talking
about it,
about prices
Holden
going up.
Commodore VF prices surpass $100,000.
There mightn't be a VF there, but I'm hoping that one's going up. So yeah, the talk is the late model SS Commodores, sedans and utes. The prices have gone up. They've spiked since the word of the Holden closure, and the Holden Commodore VF price has gone above $100,000, which is now more than it was new.
Yeah.
So that's some other knock-on effects. So this could possibly be a short-lived spike, but hopefully it's a longer-lived spike. And well, geez, if it gets to the right price, I'll let that one go. Hadn't realised that was mine there, but not a VF, a VE. They're saying that all news for VF owners is good, just as historical Holdens are spiking in value in the wake of the closure announcement. Late model Commodores are also going up in value, and people are looking to try and turn a quick buck.
It also says don't buy into it yet. If you're looking to get
It
one,
can
don't
be.
buy in yet, because it could just be a short-lived spike.
Yeah, so the asking price for a Series 2 VF Commodore Motorsport Edition, currently up for sale, is almost 50% more than the price it was brand new in 2017, which then was $61,790 plus on-road costs. So there's a few others as well. What other ones we got on there? They're saying the prices, because there's one Queensland seller that's got a Motorsport Edition currently up on car sales for a price even over 120,000. It's got a claimed 4,700 kilometres on the clock. But there's no photos of that one.
There's a Holden Commodore Series 2 VF with 7 kilometres on the odometer. That's listed at $87,500.
There you go. It's a big.
And then, yes, obviously, what a vehicle is listed at and what someone's willing to pay can often be two opposite ends of the spectrum. Really.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to list that one. But they do say that X-race cars, high performance, limited edition models like the VS GDSR, which had 85 of those came out. They're likely to get the most demand for the big cashed up collectors.
Yeah.
But in terms of late model offerings, cars including that Motorsport Edition VF Series 2 Commodore, which is a limited run model to farewell local manufactured Holden, are likely to hold a special place with enthusiasts. I do know someone close to me that has a GDS Maloo Ute VF, which was a special run that they did, which was meant to be the last ever run of the Ute. And he got build number 240 of 240, and they did make some more after that. After they promised that was the last run, they then did another run. So, which I know he was frustrated by, but that car is still like the day it come off the factory floor. It's not been a driven car.
We got some comments. Mum says no. About you selling the Ute. He's convinced he wants a Skyline now. James,
I thought if I sold that, I might be able to get a shed and a skyline. I want to put a shed just out there.
James said, somehow I think Sally will have something to say about that. Scroll down. Rob says, does this mean I should sell my EH now?
Wow.
I think even holding on to it still, you know. You never know.
We'll see what it's worth. I don't know. You've got that one
Matt
tucked away
Crick says,
nicely.
what about the VS SS manual?
Well, they're all going to go up in value if they're in good condition and well looked after. So,
Yeah.
particularly the SS models. And
Big Keg says Commodore Utes were being bought by Americans due to low Aussie dollar and shipped over. That might stop now. James VH83 says, yes, the price may have spiked, but are people paying top dollar for them at the moment? Yeah, that's the question there. And Marv said VN SS Group A are 100k plus.
Yeah, that's
And
quite
Trevor
impressive.
says, how many VF are actually selling? A lot are still for sale. Shane Fitzgerald says, depends more on the rarity for the older Commodores and such will go up, not every day run-of-the-mill Holdens. Kivas, how you going?
The Barina may not get
Of
top
course it
dollar.
will.
Sorry, Russ, if you're watching.
Kivas says, I've seen a Ram pickup truck today with a tag on the back with ASV and had American Special Vehicles under the ASV. There you go.
American special vehicles. There you
And
go.
Scott Sherrington says, I don't understand the price hike. Holden had already stopped making cars. They were just rebranding GM models anyways. And Roy says, Barra Taxi is going to go up in value too.
Well, I think they are. But that price hike, keep in mind, like Tyler said before, for someone wanting to get in and think, oh, this might be a good time to grab one as a collector, it may be short-lived because in 2017, when they stopped making them, same thing happened. In 2007, it was a quick price hike, and then it went back down again. So it may just be a short-lived episode. So you want next story?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just
Another
stay? I want to keep that
another
picture
Holden
going.
one. Holden's priceless collection. It's going to stay in Australia.
Yeah, so the government got involved.
Yeah, because
As well.
by law they can't take it out of Australia.
Well, the government's
There's
holding them to
legislation.
it because they enacted. Now I forget what the law was, but
The
it's something
Australians
that was.
Protection of Movable Cultural Heritage Act.
There you go. That's it. So yeah, some sort of cultural.
Mm-hmm. And it's aimed
Law.
at ensuring that objects of cultural importance remain in the country.
There you go. Was that in that story that I?
It was.
Oh, that's good because I did hear about that, but I didn't think it was in the story I sent you. So there was talk that they were going to send all these cars to Detroit, back to GM, and there's around 60 vehicles
Yeah.
of historical importance that are in the Holden collection. That's the effigy, or effigy, concept car.
Yep.
However you want to pronounce it. So their first ever car is in that collection. Their last ever car is in that collection, and a lot of concept cars.
Yeah.
Isn't
we
it?
want to go through some of the concepts now.
What have I got here? Let's have a look. I've got. Oops. Go back over onto here. Here we go. That's effigy.
Yep.
Which looks a lot like one that we had a chat
filmed.
to.
Yep.
At Pride and Joy show.
Yeah, Queensland Cruising.
Queensland Cruising's Pride and Joy show. We checked out a car that looked a lot like
It
that.
was our
Same
first
sort of
interview
style.
video.
Yeah, there you go. It was very similar looking style. What else have we got?
We've got the Coupe 60 concept,
There you go.
which is this one.
That's something. There's a lot of these I'd never seen.
Alright, next one. We've got the Eco Commodore concept,
Yeah.
hybrid electric.
So, and that was quite some time ago that they did come up with that one and started dabbling in the electrics. And
The HRT 427 concept.
yeah, bit of power in that one, hey. So that would have been nice to see the 427 come out.
Got the Sandman concept.
There was some similar stuff to that,
Hmm.
but we didn't end up seeing a lot come out. They put like a Sandman wagon out later in the VE series and Utes, but it was quite a lot different to that one.
And we've got the SSX concept, which is kind of like a sedan with a hatch and a tailgate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was a bit of
interesting.
a mashup with the Ute, I think, in that one.
We
So
had the Tirana TT36 hatch concept.
no, that's one I'd seen come around the different socials before. I'd seen pictures of that come around. I didn't realise it actually was a concept car that had
There you go.
been created. I thought it was just someone drawing up some crap and saying, "Hey, look at this Tirana. What do you reckon?" But that was an actual concept car. That would have been cool to see that come out. One I'm not too sure about here is this one.
The GDRX concept.
Yeah,
Something
so
different and odd.
that's obviously back from around the 70s. Something a little bit different. And then
The Hurricane.
the Hurricane again, very very different one as well.
Yeah.
That pop-up hatch.
And the last one that we've got on the list. Oh, no,
No,
we've
I
got
got a
another one.
couple.
We've got another one. We've got the SST concept.
Yeah, so this is like
Like a tonner in
Yep.
an SS.
well, big
Like bigger.
big guard
I'm
style
guessing
side.
that it might be SST as in SS tonner.
Maybe
You can fit those big
Hasn't got
tonner tyres on anything
hasn't got that same flatbed tray like a tonner though.
there.
And lastly, another coupe,
Yeah, the coupe concept.
the coupe concept. So there's a
these,
few.
these are all going to be staying in Australia along with a bunch of other Holdens. So, as Dave said, around 60 models, including a Barina model.
Hanging on to one of those Barinas. There you go, Russ. So yeah, there you go. What do you think? Had
You
anyone
got some
seen many of
comments?
those before?
James Bayless says the Hurricane should be there. It was.
Yep.
Johnny
See that
Skidpick
one?
says, I still believe HSV is going to be GMSV. ASV is a different company based in Gympie, I think.
Right.
There you
Okay.
Shane Fitzgerald says, thank F for that because Australian government has sold every other Aussie thing in the country.
Yeah.
Roy says, a lot of those concept cars were built by Holden guys in their own time. They belong to Australia.
Good call, Roy.
Dan Jazz, how you going? He
G'day,
says,
mate.
with all due respect, I've been watching classic car prices. A lot of cars stay relisted for months, sometimes years. Shannon's auctions tend to give a better idea of values.
Fair. Yeah. All right. Well, be sure to watch them and see if it does make a big difference.
Scott says, good seeing as the Australian public basically paid GM $387 million for squat.
Yeah, we've got a nice museum of cars. Hopefully they put it somewhere where we can actually go and look at them.
Gleno says, those who keep their Holdens now and can wait 5 to 10 years will be those who are smart to make $1. Way too soon to sell. Marv says, ScoMo F's off when the country is on fire and over 200 fire chiefs told him to deal with the potential bushfire crisis, but would clear his schedule to see some hurt Holden dealers, some butthurt Holden dealers.
Yeah.
Matt Crick, what's that mid-engine mounted ute I saw in America? We'll get to that one very soon.
We'll show you something on that.
James Baylor says, hang on, that's part of our
Testimonial.
thing. Pete says that effigy thing is like Cadzilla. I'll have to look that up.
Test
Keep
meal,
scrolling
yep.
down, yep, they're all about that. Fex Death, how you going? Evening.
Hey, Fex. Good to see you, mate.
Roy says the Americans can have the Barina. And
classic.
Marv says, I bet that Barina is a sports girl model.
Oh, you remember that one? I do remember that one.
Alrighty. Next, on to the next one.
Which is not the mule, but
Is this Australia's Chevrolet Corvette? The first right-hand drive C8 Stingray revealed, but will it lead our post-Holden future?
well, we've got to wait and see, right? But obviously there was some
Some speculation now.
definitely some
of-
Corvettes released through the week.
And there was some people speculating that after Holden pulling out of Australia, whether the Corvette will even come, but they have confirmed that they'll bring it over here, but they haven't confirmed under what name yet. So the speculation at the moment is GMSV.
There you go. You were on the money. I'll take it back. I was incorrect. But they did release these. There was a big do-over in Vegas in the last week or two as well. And I know Cletus was over there.
Yep.
Test driving one. We got to go for a running one. And he's got one on order. But he didn't get his yet.
Yeah.
And they look very nice. I watched that video and it does look pretty cool. It quite an impressive looking car, and inside it's just supercar.
Yeah.
It looks so supercar. It's well worth watching that video just to check it out. But they also had a lot of, because that was like an event where all the journos and whatever go and drive the cars and do a bit of story on them. Obviously, Cletus was doing his, vlog. But all the other motoring magazines and stuff would be there and wherever they're from. They had a heap of Australian journalists as well that were flying over there. But they canned it. They cancelled all the Australian journalists' trips and didn't send them over. So that would have cost them a fair bit of money in itself in cancelling all that stuff, because it would have been all planned.
Maybe
right?
they aren't confirming fully if they're going to bring it over to Australia now.
Yeah, I think it was just so maybe they didn't want to get too many questions around the. I keep looking for my drink back there.
Future.
Around the future of GM with Holden and whatnot, but it's definitely something big for them not to. It would have cost them a considerable amount of money. So they don't really have a desire for the right-hand market, though. We know that. It's not just Australia. It's the entire right-hand drive market that they don't have that desire for. But we do have another story that a few people did mention. And there you go. No, there you go.
We do have a couple of quick comments. Fexter says he's a huge Corvette fan and the new one does nothing for him. Matt Crick says, what? That C8 Corvette is awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Pete says, depending on price, I may sell some toys and get one once the bugs are ironed out from them.
They're impressive.
Big Keg says, Street Speed 717 and TJ Hunt are in competition to see who gets a C8 first. Very low VIN numbers on both.
Yeah.
Mark Oliver says the Corvette is nice if you want a two-seat supercar, but they should bring the Tahoe and the Suburban awesome cars to drive.
Well, they're certainly looking at some of the others as
to fit out their
talked about the Silverados and stuff.
To fit out their GMSV.
Yeah,
if that's what they're planning on doing, or whether they're going to bring it all in under this ASV and just do an American brand thing and they'll all sell under it. So
don't know, but we'll wait and see.
Onto the Ute.
So the Ute was a star, right? Over there in this launch of the C8.
Yep,
and
this
it
was an integral part in the hiding of the mid-engineness.
Yeah, so they tried to do a bit of cover-up with the testing using this car. And
this is the Blackjack.
This has been developed over 6 years.
I think a decade almost.
A decade, was it? There you go. There's quite a lot of money that's been put into this.
Yeah.
Combination. It's got like the Corvette roof and a Ute body and big wing on the back. But it was, just to test the chassis.
Yeah.
Is what it was all about.
And to hide what they were trying to do.
Yep.
People couldn't see the mid-engine, sorry.
Yeah.
Blackjack is basically Genesis, which is the first of the first for Corvette C8.
So, have you got any other info on it? Go on, what else you got?
Well, it's a Survivor. It was actually headed for the Wreckers. You were close. 7 years ago. I was a bit over, so 7 years ago it was born. The cost to make it is almost impossible to estimate. The rails and engine mounts, for example, were CNC milled from huge blocks of aluminum, and the data recording equipment it carries in its Spartan cabin is worth millions.
Wow.
It also lived a life of secrecy, hidden away in a swipe card protected warehouse in Warren, Michigan, while the drive team could stop the car, whip out a tarpaulin and cover the car in about 5 seconds in case an errant snapper was lurking nearby.
And there was a few pictures come out of it, because we did a story about this in one of our first lives, I believe.
Yeah.
So it was still speculation, but obviously it had been around a long time before that.
And normally, once the job is done and they verify that something is going to work, they generally just send it straight to the crusher, and then it lives on as data in an engineering database. However, GM saw fit that they needed to keep the Blackjack along with 3 other test mules to show off the development path that took the better part of a decade to complete.
There you go. It's definitely different.
Hmm.
So that was obviously what a few people were alluding to in the comments just before.
Yeah. Fexdesk says, it looks okay, but still doesn't get me excited. The C7 was much cooler. Yahtzee says, not really sold on a C8. I'd love a C3 though. Fexdesk said, I wish there were actual GM dealerships where we could get the cool US cars. That'd be awesome.
Mm.
Not that I'm in the market for them because
I
I
think,
don't have
there's
that
a
money.
lot better suspension from my understanding from the C7 to the C8. Like they've done quite a bit of work on that.
How you going? Sorry I'm late. No worries.
We'll let you off this once.
Big Keg says the Camaro done by HSV are 30k more than a Mustang. What would you buy?
Well, that's why a lot of people buy a Mustang.
And
because
the
of
market's so
price.
saturated with them nowadays.
Yeah, but a lot of people are going to want something different because you go anywhere, there's always Mustangs now. So,
It's a good segue to the next story.
is it? I
Yeah.
forgot what the next story was. So,
It's a Mustang.
right, so you want me to jump to that?
Exactly how fast is this Mustang R-Spec?
Yeah, so we've mentioned the R-Spec in previous weeks, and there's a bit of news about this one coming out.
We'll talk about that in 2 seconds.
500
I'm just gonna
kilowatts.
Quickly scroll.
Yeah.
500 kilowatts. It's a hefty amount of power.
Mm.
James Bayless said that they used the ute body as it was easier to gain access to the rear end engine drivetrain pieces. There you go. Roy says American trucks are going to be too expensive to compete against the Hilux, Ranger, etc. That's probably pretty true. Matt Crick says if he had
Silverado, was the Silverado we talked about last week, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I think so. Well, no, it was the Ram, the new Ram.
No. We'd already spoke about the Ram the week before. I think it was the Silverado. It'll be here. It'll be selling next month.
Oh, there you go.
It's supposed to be released in March.
Okay. Matt Crick says if he had the dough, he'd buy a Camaro over the Mustang. It'd be my pick too if I had the money.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yeah, between those two. If I had that sort of money, I'd probably look at something else. But if it was between those two, I'd buy the Camaro.
For what we've had over the previous years, Mustang would have been my buy. But if I got an option with something else now, then I'd pick that Camaro. So
Yahtzee says the Hilux is just a steal for the price you can get them at the moment. Even utes such as the Navaras and the D-Max are dropping down to a reasonable workshop price. Skid Pig says the test mule for the C8 Corvette Project Blackjack front and rear is Holden ute, cab is C7, transaxle is from a Porsche as it was the only box at the time to handle power and torque. There you go.
Okay.
Marv says you can buy a Mustang and twin turbo and still be cheaper than a stock Camaro.
Yeah, but
And Vex Death says new Mustang is fast, 0 to pedestrians in under 3 seconds. Johnny
never
Skid
gets
Pig
old.
says Johnny Skid Pig says the Mustang is bloody quick if there's a crowd nearby.
it's just a joke. I know we just keep going on with it, but it never gets old.
And Big Keg says you can walk into a showroom and buy a Mustang, have to order a Camaro and wait.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Well, this is 500 kilowatts.
Yeah, because the wheels guys actually
And also which car?
took
Have
this
both,
out.
have both had a go at it on the track.
Yep.
And they've said it is a horror to launch it off the line.
Yeah, so 500 kilowatts, but trying to get that off the line is
with the combination of a manual gearbox, prodigious power output, and relatively narrow rear tyres.
yeah. So what else have they said about it? They had a crack at delivering some acceleration times that were potentially cover-worthy for Wheels magazine. Well, it turned out they weren't. They weren't impressed by the 4.7 second time to 100 kilometres. That got that after a number of aborted attempts to get the Mustang to hook up. So there you go. The sweet chirp of wheel spin and then a clean feed of power to the rear Michelin seemed only marginally easier than getting Warwick Kappa to explain Fermat's last theorem. Is what they said.
So part of the problem is the 275/40 19s Michelin Pilot Sports 4S tyres on the back, and they are narrower than the rubber you get on the front of a Camaro ZL1. But that's still the tyre that Ford Performance recommends.
They said if you give it too little, it bogs down too much and it just obliterates
Immolates.
the rear treads.
They say on which car. But to get the best time, if you really want to go for it, you need to deflate them down to about 18 psi.
So they said the conditions were favourable. It
Mhm.
was 18 degrees. It was a little bit of wind. And then they were doing a few runs down the strip.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed to deliver well at the top end. And the numbers spat out by Race Logic Performance Box gave them 4.7 seconds to 100k, 12.4 seconds through the 400 metre mark. With
199.1.
Yeah, 199.1 kilometres an hour.
And then they also said they felt a bit dejected because those aren't times significantly removed from those of a stock Mustang GT Auto.
You're paying a lot more to get it though, right?
Mm.
So they did admit defeat. Apparently, gave the car back to Ford.
And then it went straight to the guys over at Motor.
How did they go?
Now, hats off to the perseverance of Scott Newman as he extracted an identical 4.7 second 0 to 100 kilometre hour time on a day that was an 11 degrees hotter. But where he may have been helped by a stickier launch pad, the conditions then conspired against him. He complained that the car felt flat at the top end, delivering a 12.8 second 400 metre time at 189.6 kilometres an hour, which is 9.5 kilometres down at the far end of the strip.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Interesting.
What do you reckon?
And, what do we got? We got some comments.
What do you got?
Let me
Tell us
scroll
about
up, scrolling up to have a look. Yahtzee says, "Come on, it's the pedestrian's fault for being on the sidewalk. The Mustang was in the right." James Bayless says, "Always at the left. It just depends on which side has the most amount of pedestrians." Scott says, "Just need to put a crowd at the end of the quarter and you'll have a stock Mustang doing sub 10s."
Just going for
Roy says, "Hard to put 500 kilowatts down on street rubber."
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, but they could have certainly put something a little bit bigger on the back of it for, the R-Spec model. That is their recommendation of tyre.
Danger says, "Didn't know anyone wanted a Mustang to hook up."
Cool.
Mel
500 kilowatts.
Mal says the R33 boat may launch better than the Mustang, as long as I've taken the anchor up. Yahtzee says usually you don't hook up with anything when you buy a Mustang.
Not the only thing to spit out the back of a Mustang. Just Johnny. But 275s on the rear won't put the power down. Yeah, look, it'll be... You probably want to do some changes if you got one, I think. But it would have been nice to have an R-Spec model come out and not have to do changes, right? I think that's the point of being that next tier up, the top of the line model that they're coming out with. It would have been nice that it was ready to go. But it will be interesting to see what happens. Fex says numbers don't really mean that much. Not everyone will take it racing, and want to know what it's like as a daily driver. Is it comfy after 200 kilometres per hour? Getting to work quick, but yeah, look, I'm sure it will be a pretty nice car. We've spoken to some people that have changed from Maloos into Raylene, being one that we interviewed a while ago with her Mustang, and she got out of a Maloo and bought a Mustang, and she said it was the best thing she's ever done. So, and she's done a lot of work to that Mustang too. It's certainly no daily. It's a 10-second Mustang, but she had so was the Maloo. I'm sure she had that Maloo in the 10 seconds as well, from memory. So, she likes fast cars, but she does love the Mustang. It is certainly her favourite.
Well, on to the next one.
Next story.
Yep.
You want to?
Let's spin it from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive.
Wrong-wheel drive.
As Honda have taken...
Wrong-wheel drive, some may say.
Yeah. Well, Honda have taken the first at Car Sales TCR Test Day.
Well, I would say if you want to race a front-wheel drive car, you want to race a Honda or an Integra.
Doesn't fit under the TCR though.
No.
And, as
It's
15
not a
cars,
boosted
as
one.
15 cars hit the track at Winton, Tony D'Alberto and Honda have set the 2020 target for the Car Sales TCR Australia Series by clocking the quickest time at the first hit out of the season at Winton in rural Victoria.
Yeah. So they were up against a couple of quick i30Ns and well, there's a lot of quick cars in that, right?
Yeah.
But that was probably the next, I think, quickest was the i30N. So
Yes, I believe so.
yeah, there is obviously 15 different cars in that at the moment. In that, there is more, but that's what's in the pre-season test day. So there will be more in that class.
We had D'Alberto. His best lap was 1:24.1842 in his Civic Type R, with Morecambe 0.0082 seconds slower, and Brown only 0.173 further back. And Morecambe and Brown both race in the Hyundai i30Ns.
There you go. That's extremely close.
And the whole field was covered by 3 seconds.
Yeah, so it's going to be very close racing. So it will be interesting to see through the year. Yeah, look, I guess the only thing more interesting would be if we gave them $1,000 budget. But no, front wheel drive racing. There you go. That's where it's at this year. So TCR, check that out. We'll be out there in July.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how much we'll be able to film with the TCR, but we'll be filming the
watching
XL series, of course.
Yeah, but we'll be watching TCR.
We certainly will.
Kicking back to watch that one. And Touring Car Masters as well. That's what else we'll be watching at Morgan Park Raceway around, what date was that? Around the 3rd of July.
There you go. Dang says, who'd have thought a coupe rides better than a ute?
Yeah.
Scroll down. Mal says, is that a hint, Dave? Honda? Well, if you're in the Discord, you're in the know, so you better jump in there.
Yeah.
It's also how you get onto the quiz later in the show.
There's even a picture of it. Mel's in the Discord. He just hasn't. You haven't read it. There is a picture. There's some pictures in there.
Hey, Paulie, how you going? Good evening.
And it was an early video of the R33, but it turned out just to be pretty much of your console with some whoosh whoosh noises.
I can bring one up.
Go on then. But
I won't show up. They'll just hear the noise.
Because all he does is drive around and hit boost just to hear a bit of turbo flutter now. It wasn't real loud flutter in that one.
No.
That was still low boost.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're off TCR. We're on to something
We
different
certainly
now.
are. Scott says he has a Honda video coming up soon, but instead of just posting the video, he's going to attempt some fancy editing. Oh, there you go.
Cool.
You'll have to let us know when you post it. Send it out in the Discord when you post it up.
Shout out if you need any tips or tricks or help with the editing.
Big Keg says TCR's coverage of test day on YouTube was pathetic. 1 minute video. Oh, yeah. Maybe they need to get a YouTube team to help them out.
Just tell them, get Overtaking Lane out there. They'll live stream it for you.
Roy says, I love the TCR series. You can egg on what your mum drives.
Yeah, it's true.
Paulie says we should do a cruise out to TCR. I'm sure we could do that.
Yeah, we'll be cruising out anyway, so we're happy to.
Matt Crick says, hang on, I missed that. That's a conversation. Paulie says, mate, the dose is the best part of RB life.
So true, he loves it.
Fex says, sounds sweet. James Bayless says, nice. James Bayless also says, where's Dave with the HJ?
Still just sitting in the shed.
Yahtzee says, sounds like it's got a screamer on it. God bless the high RPM dumps.
We might need some boost in the ute.
We'll see.
I don't think I'd do it to the HJ. I like it how it is. It's a good cruiser.
All right. Well, let's kick it into the next story.
we've got to get
some electric news.
a weekly dose of electric goodness.
Tesla is slowly pushing Germany into a recession.
Apparently.
Germany are on a brink of recession as its auto industry hits a 22-year low. Tesla and the EV movement have disrupted the backbone of Germany's economy.
Yeah, so that's interesting that, obviously, we've been there and done that, and we know from our earlier stories that Australia car industry is dead and buried and gone. So is it going to see others now suffer that same fate? That's what we're looking at, right? Potential.
Yeah. So, their growth has slowed to zero in the last quarter. The economy is being dragged down by a seismic slump in car manufacturing, and also the Tesla effect. The shift to electric vehicles is leaving Germany in dire straits.
Yeah. So what's gonna come of it? I was wondering why I couldn't see where you were up to in the story, and it's because I was on a completely different story. That'll do it every time. Are you at the end of the story now? Because yeah,
pretty much. The Tesla Model 3 is actually outselling.
Completely missed it.
The Tesla Model 3 is actually outselling every major German rival in US sales and in Europe. So that's pretty crazy. It's outselling the BMW 2, 3, 4, and 5 series combined.
There you go.
And that's the second best seller of German vehicles. So.
We probably should have done the next two stories round the other way, because there is a German vehicle story there. But I've got another electric story in between. I've got my electric stories mixed up.
Hang on. We got a couple of comments quickly. Paulie says the J needs boost, Dave. And Dan just says boost the Ute. And Paulie said back, nah, boost the J. Twins.
Could be done. Plenty of room in there.
Fex says Tesla has changed the car market forever. They certainly have.
Yeah.
James Baylor says Tesla are also trying to convince the Germans to lift the ban on trucks being used on Sunday and holidays. The good money. Roy says the good money is going to be with the charge systems. It certainly is. Chris Young says, okay, these electric vehicles are using rare earth metals in their batteries, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot go. When we did one a while ago, a story about how much goes into the manufacture of it. Like if you're doing it because you want to be green, the manufacturer not only of the batteries but the car and everything that goes along with it, you've got to drive that car to at least 120,000 kilometres, I think it was,
something like that, yeah.
before it becomes
emissions neutral.
Emissions neutral, that's what I was after. Because there's so many emissions already created in the construction of that car and the battery and everything else that's created with it, that 120,000 kilometres before it's emissions neutral, and there is very little at the moment on the market at 120,000 k's in electric vehicles. Keep in mind, if you have to replace batteries or anything like that, that's going to set you back even further. So to do it to be completely emissions neutral is very difficult. So if you want to do it just because you want to run an electric car, then
straight away says, well, look at Ford's new approach to e-vehicles. The new Mustang, more of an SUV than a Mustang, but bad nonetheless. Scott says, spoiler alert, the new vid will be called Will That Fit My Honda, or Will My Honda Fit in That? Paulie says, turns out you know a bloke who could do that for you too, Dave.
Oh, yes.
All
right, so
ready for the next story?
Next story is, well, can we handle it?
Building one charging station hub can be the equivalent of connecting 100 new homes.
And we already know that there's plenty of states there's already significant strain on the power grid
especially through summer with all the air cons. So.
Yep. If we jam into that a heap of electric vehicles charging at the same time, what effect is that going to have? So, can our current power grid keep up with the demand of electric vehicles?
And they say if a vehicle is being charged at a more rapid rate, it requires a similar amount of electricity to a house. And if you consider that there will be 12 million electric vehicles by 2040, that's like 12 million houses.
And then we're still going to have houses being built in new estates and that start going in as well on top of that. So this is going to put a significant strain on our power grid. That's the concern.
And Harry Heyman, or Hamayan.
Which means that we end up with more blackouts, right? We end up with more blackouts and you can't charge your car.
Yeah, correct. Then we end up back in petrol vehicles. Harry Heyman, who's the CEO of charging installation company Get Electric, said his business regularly encounters developers who are unaware of the demands electric car charging could place on energy supply. He says, one of the issues in this building we're working on at the moment is the amount of power that they have available. It sounds like a lot, but it's running lifts, lighting, aircon, so the building doesn't have capacity to provide any more energy, and we could burn the substation down.
Jeez.
So, he said, in his opinion, the risks are high. The developers and body corps we're dealing with don't realise it's an issue until we tell them. It'll be like the pink bats cladding issue. Once a couple of buildings go up in flames, they'll do something.
Yeah.
As a result, our chargers have automatic load management, so if demand gets too high, like when all the aircon is on, the chargers will throttle back. How we notify owners, we're still not entirely sure about.
But that's a good point, right? Like, it's not only the power grid, but it's the infrastructure that's already in place feeding that power in. Because, the wire that runs into your house or runs into a building is only a certain amperage or a certain size. And once you've got too much draw coming through that, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right. And you would remember when we first bought the cafe in Surfers, it was always flicking the switch, right? You'd remember down there you'd have to run inside and flick the power back on.
Yeah.
Come back, and we had to run thicker wire in, right? We had to get more power run in from the board, and it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it is concerning, and I was thinking of all those small things that are going to have an effect on that. So what have we got comment wise?
It says the grid should hold up considering what we pay the mongrel power mobs.
Well,
Roy says the thin grid is the answer, where everyone can store their on the solar panel on a solar panel, and the car is shared with the house.
So like the car's like a battery, you mean, to the solar energy coming from your house.
Sure.
That would be good. Like the Tesla batteries and stuff that you can put on your houses and stuff are certainly great technology, and I'd love to have one of them on my house. But they're costly technology as well at the moment.
Mal says, been on Discord, well done. Yahtzee says, some towns in Australia can't even run aircons at the same time. I don't know how they expect to charge the cars up at the shops. Says, more solar. Fixed says, solar power needs to be put into remote places to be able to keep up. Certainly does.
Open it up. I've still got more roof. Why can't I put more? Well, apparently the grid also can't handle too much power going back through the line either. So something I read about why you can't just put massive amounts on your house and push back into the grid all the time, because there's only so much you can handle in the reverse flow.
All right. Ready to kick into the next story?
Yeah, sorry, am I slowing you up?
Yeah.
You in a hurry? You want to go drive your car or something?
No. Maybe.
We were going to live stream it earlier and we didn't get there. Recorded some more footage though. All right, what do we got? Next story. You want me to change the actual story on the background of the TV here?
Nice too, yeah. Give them a sneak peek at what it is.
So this is a bit
VW IDR, a sports car to take on the Tesla Roadster. So it is electric. Just because they're planning an electric future at Volkswagen doesn't mean that the German brand has given up on sports cars or performance cars. So they're looking at doing a all-electric sports coupe and convertible that will wear the ID.R badge and could do battle with the likes of the Tesla Roadster.
Is this a way for Germany to bring back a
Maybe.
fair playing field for them?
Yeah, possibly. And it's also expected to spawn battery-powered sports cars from Porsche and Audi, like the Taycan, which we've already seen. So, which isn't necessarily a sports car because it's kind of aimed at the P100D sort of level.
It is, but it's that speed.
Yeah, it is pretty quick still. So yeah.
They're saying that they've already begun on adapting the battery technology from the record-setting Volkswagen IDR prototype race car for road car use, but also utilise the modular MEB EV platform, which would allow it to use dual electric motor powertrain from the upcoming ID4 SUV, while also being relatively cost-effective for a sports car.
It's exciting to see that they're doing sorts of things like this, and Porsche have confirmed that the next generation Macan will ditch diesel in favour of electrification, and there are reports that the next 718 Boxster could spin off an EV variant. Audi has also indicated that the TT is likely to be replaced by an electric model.
Have we dropped out?
I don't think so. Maybe that's just for you.
Maybe it's just me and my poor internet.
But yeah, so the TT taking on a electric model possibly, and previously also saying that its icons would need to adapt with the times.
Okay.
Mitchell R. Hey fellas, loving the stream. First time viewer, hashtag I30N. How you going?
Hey buddy. Hey, your video will be out
next Tuesday. I just edited,
Tuesday.
I edited up the interview.
Yeah, so
I'm making my way through it at the moment.
Everyone knows we love to talk a bit of Hyundai on our live show, and we managed to grab Mitch and have a chat about the i30N.
Mum says we're still there. There you go. Let me scroll up. Scott says the problem is solar only works in daylight. Base load power is needed 24/7. Paulie says the power back into the grid thing is horse crap. Johnny Skidpig says for adequate power for these chargers needs to be 3-phase. Most houses don't have that. Fex Death says it should be mandatory that all new buildings have solar panels on top. Any help would be good for power stability. Certainly would. Chris Young says most people could make their own electricity. Wind and water power is available to shrink for home use.
Somebody the other day that had put a turbine inside the water pipes for like town water supply. So in the big piping that runs through, they put like turbines in there to create power.
There you go.
I don't know where that was now, but yeah.
Yana says thought the Germans were going broke.
Well,
I guess not. This is their last chance. They're
fighting back.
Their dying breath. Yahtzee says, actually, it's kind of funny for Volkswagen to be making electric cars considering their emissions dramas a couple of years ago. Can't fake emissions testing if you don't run on petrol.
That's a good point. Dieselgate.
Paulie says the arguments against renewables are sponsored by people who have an extreme bias to preserving their income and nothing else. Chris Young's looking at building a small wind turbine for his garden.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Marf said the next VW will be called the ID GAF. Roy says the power in a Taycan or Tesla can easily power a home at night. Your house battery is charged during the day and baseload power is freed up for industry. Johnny said it's funny how the VW IDR is also part sponsored by Castrol.
Yeah.
There you go. Paulie says simple fact is with all of this we can't continue on with our heads buried in the sand. Mitch says hit me up if you want to do a review on it. There you go, the I-30.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. How good's that? Mitch offered for us to take it for a drive, and what a great guy to meet out there at Cars and Coffee, and it was really cool. We'll definitely go and check that out a little bit more.
Yeah, we've always toyed with the idea of doing a review on it.
Yeah. So
maybe that could be a new segment to write down on the list.
We've got another one to add to our list of videos coming up this year.
Let me scroll down. Paulie says we don't need 3-phase in Australia for car charging because we have 240 volt. A lot of the USA has this problem because they're on 110.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Big Keg says VW are giving petrol motor racing away and concentrating on EV only. Big repercussions. It certainly is. I think we did a story on that last week, actually.
On which one?
The VW going all electric in the racing.
I remember that one.
And it was a big loss for F1.
Maybe. No, mental blank.
And Marv said, let's see how much an i30N can beat a Veloster Turbo by.
They just sound so good. They really do.
All right, ready to go to the next one?
Yeah, so the Stinger.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw that in.
The Night Sky Edition.
hoping to
GT.
maybe mate Adam catch up with him. I know he's just bought a new Stinger, not a Night Sky, but he has just bought a new Stinger, and hopefully we'll get to catch up with him at some point, go for a ride and that, and do a bit of a video on it as well.
Yahtzee says car reviews would be great. If you don't want to do street, you could do it at the track meets.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I always feel uncomfortable taking other people's cars, but they could take us for a drive too, right? So, anyway, Kia.
We'll work it out. So the GT spec Stinger, which is fitted with a twin turbocharged V6 engine, the Night Sky edition, is arriving in Australia this month, and it's available in 3 nocturnal hues: Micro Blue, Deep Chroma Blue, and Aurora Black Pearl.
All nice night dark sky colours, obviously.
So the pricing is set at $63,500 plus your on-road costs, and which is a $710 jump on the existing GT. So
That's not
just
bad.
your paint cost, really.
Yeah. So along with that special paintwork, though, the premium gets buyers the same 272 kilowatts, 510 newton meters, 3.3 litre twin turbo V6, but in Night Sky special application, a bimodal exhaust system is fitted standard. It is usually over $2,500 investment to get that, plus fitment costs.
There you go.
So the inside the interior is furnished in light grey Napa leather trim, contrasting with the exterior. Standard equipment carries over, meaning it's got the 3-mode adaptive suspension, 19-inch wheels, heated and cooled front seats, Brembo brakes, limited slip diff, heads-up display, keyless entry, push-button start, dual zone, climate control, wireless smartphone charger. The infotainment is controlled by an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, sat-nav and digital radio. The Night Sky edition follows in the wheel tracks of the Stinger GT Carbon edition, introduced in Australia in 2019, and it goes on sale this month.
There you go.
So, 63,500. I think you mentioned that before.
Did. Mark says he hates Stingers because of Highway Patrol using them.
Whenever anyone sees a Stinger now, it's like, is that a copper?
Paulie says if they'd spend the money, we could switch to renewable energy sources tomorrow. The cost is there now in the long term, but currently our whole world revolved around election cycles. Roy says, love the Stinger. It's the modern 240Z.
That's an interesting take on it, yeah.
Fex says Marf that the Highway Patrols near him use BMWs. Mal says the Stinger needs a better exhaust. Roy says Highway Patrol aren't stupid. They know the Stinger can catch a hot Yaris.
The BMW is expensive police car too. That was like $500,000, wasn't it?
Mercedes. I think
it is.
Shane Fitzgerald's off. Good night. Have a great weekend.
See you, Shane.
And Skid Peak says, my boss's missus has a Stinger GT. Brilliant car. Sucks more fuel than a big block Chev.
Really? Ah.
There you go. All right. Are you ready to switch it to our last story of the night?
Last story, and then we'll jump into the quiz.
So if you're a quiz goer, so Scott and Sally, feel free to jump into the waiting room in Discord now.
And if you want to be a quiz goer, make sure that you're in Discord so that you can... we'll throw up the link to Discord.
The giveaway's already there, so you can jump in it right now.
You can jump in the giveaway channel and be in there because, we've got another giveaway coming up. Actual different giveaways coming up as well.
Yep.
Other than the competition for the quiz. But it was only 2 people in it last week. Sally won. There was a 50-50 chance though, right? So there was only 2 people in there. So there's quite easy to get a go to come on and take on the winner.
Certainly is.
Of tonight.
Gleno's off as well. He said, sorry guys, missed most of tonight because of dumb work and shit, but going to pull the pin early. We'll catch up on the show tomorrow. Poor R-Spec Mustang when Shelby got 305/30/20 on the rear. Take care all.
So he's got much bigger. There you go. Thanks, Gleno. We'll see you out and about.
And no more racing's off as well. He says night all.
Cheers,
Have a great
brother.
night. Cheers for tuning in. All right.
Last story before we jump into the quiz.
Sportier Subaru Forester is coming
Well
to
done.
Australia. New look suspension and interior tweaks for a dynamically enhanced SUV.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw this one in because we've done some talk in the recent weeks about the STIs and whatnot coming out, and different specs that was in those, and the Forester. I thought that was interesting to see that there's a few changes in that, right?
Yeah.
So, do you know what the changes are?
Well, it won't be anything like the Forester STI that's in other countries. So don't get your hopes up too much if you're a Forester fan.
Well, there's a lot out there that are.
Yeah.
Plenty of people doing them up. Cal's got a Forester.
What's
he got?
He's got a wagon. He's got a Liberty.
Ah, he's got a Liberty. There you go.
He's got an STI Liberty.
I haven't actually seen it.
I've been in it. The next Forester is going to take on a sportier bent, and it will use the same naturally aspirated 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine as the current range, which is good for 136 kilowatts of power and 239 newton meters of torque. Subaru believes that a more athletic positioning will be achieved via improved suspension, added exterior elements to create a tougher look, and refinements inside the cabin. So that's really it. What they've said. They haven't really anything else. They haven't confirmed any details yet and pricing on the future variant, but says it'll arrive before the end of 2020.
There you go. All right. Well, let's jump into quiz mode.
Let me get these.
Oh, look, I haven't even updated it. How about that? We don't have Scott and Paulie. That was weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll just
Skid Pig was last week.
We'll just look at the website for a bit.
Paulie said he wasn't sure if he would be able to make it tonight. No worries. Well, as always, next week you can jump in. Marv says he's holding off until he gets 8 weeks. He's not taking my record.
That's cool.
James says, love the typo, Dave. So you must have a typo there on the Forester slide.
Did I? It's not unusual. What did I do the other week? Oh, yeah. There you go. The other week I did a massive typo. I called the Corvette a Camaro, didn't I? Or something?
Yeah, I think so. Well, the Camaro, the Corvette, I can't remember which way it was. One way around. Paulie says Forester Power. Says his Forester doesn't miss a beat. It doesn't beat, but it doesn't miss any. James Bayless says, great car, the Forester. My daily doesn't miss a beat. There you go. Fex Death says he's kind of over SUVs after living in Sydney City all his life. They get very annoying. Thankfully, he moved. Fex Death says, I wouldn't mind an all-wheel drive wagon.
Hang on, I'm just fixing up my headphones here because I got no sound. Try again. You're right, you keep talking.
Well, you shouldn't have any sound. There's nothing coming through yet.
Shouldn't I hear us?
If you turn it up, maybe. Can you hear you now?
Yeah,
Is that good?
Yeah.
Skid Pig says he didn't enter in because he wasn't sure if he was going to be home tonight. And Marv says rigged the contest that week if Nightbot lets me in. So Nightbot can let me in. All right, let's drag the people in. We got Scott. How you going?
Hello? You there, buddy? We got Scott.
Hello.
There's Sally.
Hello.
Hey, Sally.
Oops, Scott's out. Hang on, let me bring him back. Scott, you there?
Yep.
All right,
There
we got
we
you.
go.
There we go. Awesome.
Okay, hopefully we're all good to go.
Need your soundboard up.
Well, you got to do that because I don't actually have questions.
All right, I can do that then.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just score.
Okay.
And
We'll test the buzzers. We'll go Sally
So,
and Scott.
Scott.
Perfect.
1 point each for that. Well done.
Alrighty. Number 1. The Nissan R33 Skyline is commonly known as what? A jet ski. B,
Scott.
Scott.
Boat.
That's correct. It was also or C, a jet. Number 2. What was the highest selling model of Commodore? Was it A, the ZB, B, the VE, or C, the VT?
Sal. Scott.
Sally?
I'd like to say it's the VE, but I'm pretty sure you said it was the VT a couple of weeks ago.
Which one did you? Which is your answer?
VT.
That's correct.
You got it.
Number 3. What was the highest selling model of Kingswood? Was it A, the HQ, B, the HJ, or C, the HX? Sally.
HQ.
That's correct.
Oh, 2-1 to Sally.
Number 4.
You still there, Scott? Just checking.
Yeah. She just got in quick.
Number 4.
I'm learning.
The 1959 Mercedes-Benz W111 was the first production car with A, anti-lock brakes, B, crumple zones, or C, airbags.
Sally.
Sally?
Airbags.
Incorrect. Scott?
Scott.
Yep.
Crumple zones.
Correct. That's correct. It is crumple zones.
Oh, 2 each. 2 all.
I think he should know that one because he had the I think he was in the quiz when we asked the question about the Jensen, which was the first car with the anti-lock brakes.
Ah, okay. I didn't remember that, so I wouldn't have got that.
Number 5. How many prototypes did Toyota build whilst building the first Lexus? Was it A, 350, B, 250, or C, 450?
Sally.
Sally?
B.
That is incorrect. Scott?
I'll go with C.
That's correct.
450.
It was 450. Number 6. In the Game Over video, we spoke to Jason, whose rat rod cost him how much to build?
Sally.
Scott.
Sally?
He come in at 15 grand.
Correct.
3 all. 3 all.
Number 7. Also, when talking to Jason, what car did he start with to build his rat rod?
Scott.
Sally?
The Toyota Hilux.
That is correct.
4-3.
Number 8. We then spoke to Gavin with his massive 61 Fleetwood. The Fleetwood was a fairly massive change for him because he used
Scott.
to... Scott?
He had a 13B turbo-powered Hilux.
That is correct. The rest of the question was it was a massive change for him because he used to drive what car? And yeah, that was correct. It was a Hilux Ute with a 13B turbo. Number 9. We spoke to Nicole about the LH Tirana, which had what motor?
Scott.
Scott.
It was an LS.
That is correct. Number 10. What was different about this particular LS swap in Nicole's Tirana? Scott.
It had the Dizzy in it.
That is correct, but there's also one more thing that you can get for an extra half a point. Or the full point, I should say.
Well, carbied.
That is correct. That's a full point for that question. Alrighty, and that was it. Number 10. That was all.
Carby
and a Dizzy.
Front Dizzy, yes. There you go. 6-4. Just come home with the last couple of questions, Scott.
You were quick, Sal. You were really quick.
Hey, I'm learning, mate. I'm learning.
Yep.
Well done. That was close. That was good. You saving your bonus question, or you're going to use it this week as well? Because now that you're...
I'll save my bonus question.
You can save that for next week?
Because it's reusable.
Well done. Well done. That's excellent.
Thanks, Sally.
It's always good to have a nice, close matching. So, well done, guys.
And no points went begging this week, which is good.
No, that's it. So, and they both got... We probably should have went extra. It should have been 7-5 because you got an extra points there for getting the buzzers right at the start of the game. So... but no, well done. So how many weeks are we at? Marf's worried about his record there, I believe, Scotty.
Yeah. What are we at? We're at 6 now?
6 now. Wow, look at that. It's getting closer. But watch out. He may do a comeback just to stop you if you get that far. So, but if you want to take on Scott, our carryover for this week, you've got to get into Discord. You get into the giveaways channel, and then you click the little emoji there, and you'll be in the draw. And then next, Tuesday, Wednesday, it draws it. What day is it drawing?
In 5 days' time.
In 5 days. You've got 5 days to get into Discord and put your name down to be on there. Discord as well is where you'll do the voice to come through on here. So it's really easy. It's not hard, is it, guys?
No, not at all.
There you go.
And it's
So-
free, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's free. It's just a bit of fun. And I know Sally's doing it just with a phone and a set of earplugs. Scott,
Works fine.
you doing the phone or you're on the computer?
Yeah,
Or?
just on a phone. Just on the phone.
There you go. So easy. Excellent. All right, guys.
And Marv wants to take him out at 8 weeks. Then we tie the record and both have shirts.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I've got some ideas ticking for some new shirts coming up soon too. So, but no, good stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you joining in and having a bit of fun. And we'll let you guys go.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.
And we'll see you next week, Scotty.
See ya.
There you go. That was good. That was quite a quick game.
Yeah,
The guys
certainly
were
was.
straight in. It was very quick buzzers, and they're also having some fun.
Well, we ready?
What's
on?
What's on? We've got to get onto what's on. So
We've got the Test and Tune official event on Friday at 5:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. at Willowbank.
I have none of the what's on event because I can't open a web page.
I've got them. I can do this.
Yeah, because the web page.
We also
won't
have
open for me.
Munchies. Munchies is on every Friday night at Elizabeth Street, Acacia Ridge. Get
Heard
in
of that
early
one
if you
before.
want to get a good park. 5:30 p.m.
Last week apparently Munchies was dead, but
Oh, there you
it
go.
was probably
It was pretty weathery last week, so
Yeah, there was a lot on too. Like we were at Game Over. There was some
Mm-hmm.
other stuff on, and then there was one of the night markets at Carrara. Downshift was on up there, which got a little bit out of hand, I believe.
the QUT Car Club are hosting a meet at Mount Cootha at the Planetarium, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. They're hosting a car park meet there at the Planetarium car park.
Yeah.
Anything with wheels is welcome, so it's perfectly fine if you want to bring your mum's Camry, your lifted Land Cruiser, or your $500 XL. We embrace
Skateboard.
the vast range of cars we all own in this club.
Skateboards allowed too, right? They got wheels.
Yeah, of course. Lakeside Time Attack Round 1 is on Saturday, 29th of February.
So flicking into Saturday.
7:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. at Lakeside Raceway. VSAQ static display at Garage 25 in the Boatworks Drive in Coomera. It's a static display of vintage speed cars and speedway bikes at Garage 25.
Someone mentioned Aaron mentions radials. Well, talking radials, Kenda's on.
Kenda's on this weekend. It certainly is at Eastern Creek.
Is it on a calendar?
I don't know. No, it's not there for some reason.
But Kenda's on down in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Go and watch
Certainly
Kenda.
is.
You got to get across to Kenda because radial racing is really where it's at these days. It's bloody good racing.
Yeah.
They're prepping the track. They've got mental blank what his name is. I've forgotten his Kurt.
Kurt.
They got Kurt. They've flown Kurt over from America to prep the track.
Mm-hmm.
Teach the guys in Sydney how to prep a track for radial racing, and there's a lot of effort goes into that. So if you're in Sydney, go and check out Kenda.
Rally Day at Willowbank. Ipswich Motorsport Precinct, that one, 8 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. if you want to have a bit of fun.
Yahtzee says it needs a scoop on the drama at Downshift. It was just
A lot of people on the street,
Lots of
egging
people.
people on. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
packed
Just
on
at the
street.
exit, there was just probably 100 or more people out on the road.
We'll have to see if we can find that photo and put it in Discord.
Yeah, we'll throw it up in Discord. Yeah, it was more than 100 people out on the road, egging people on coming out. Cops and stuff turned up, and yeah.
Oh,
usual.
David Bonello, he says, how you going with my shirt? It might be Dave.
That's from Tyres. Which one?
David Bonello? Bonello? It might be...
Which shirt we're talking about?
It might be Dave at the Ute.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
You don't remember? You don't know who Dave is?
With the
With the 2,000 horsepower SS, the big Ute? Big.
Oh,
massive
no,
volume.
that's Dave Jones.
Oh, okay. Just a guess. I don't know.
Is
Maybe I
that
thought
Dave Vanilla? Oh, has he worked out chat?
we said we were going to put it up and we forgot to.
Yeah. Well, if it is, actually, good point.
He said, "Yeah, hi. How's my shirt going?"
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yes.
He said, "Hi. I think I got."
He's working it out. All right.
Roy says Discord
to see
doesn't
you.
work with the Opera browser. You'll have to download the app, and then there's that little. I'll post the thing again. If you download the Discord app on your phone, through your app store or whichever you use. And then there's that little code at the end, the MMUMYKF. If you copy that part and then you paste it in Discord, you will be able to log in. Trevor Smith says, is anyone doing live feeds from Kenda? I'm not 100% sure.
No, well, we were going down there, but unfortunately there wasn't enough sponsorship to cover our cost to get us down there. So
Yeah.
we'll be bringing Queensland events at this stage, but we couldn't make it down there for that. We just didn't have our own funds to cover it. But it did mean that we got this weekend off because we had planned to be there.
Yeah.
So Tyler's going away now.
Yeah.
So yes,
I
that
picked
would
a
be
great
Dave
time to
for
go
you.
away just after I get the car.
Yeah.
It's going to sit in the garage all weekend.
Drop it around here.
Says, don't need 3-hour streams every week. Sometimes a short one is spicy. There you go. We've also got...
Are we a bit short this week?
we're right. We've made a good time, I think.
Still 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah. QDRC 2020 official event on Saturday as well, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Willowbank Raceway. That's the same
I'm sure
one.
everyone gets sick of us well after a bloody hour or so. So
There's the Holden Memorial Cruise 2020 from 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. at Bunnings Warehouse in Oxenford. That's all Holden Cruise and Meet. Rebels Car Club are having their Saturday meet-up at Beanley Tavern, 3 p.m. till
See you,
6
Paulie.
p.m.
Oh, we might make cars and coffee. That's next.
No, it's not this weekend. It's the weekend after.
Yeah, Paulie just
We're
said,
gonna-
see ya, take it easy, he's off, see us at Cars and Coffee. We worked out our times today, and
But if
because
we
we already
go
got
to
2
car-
other car shows in that day.
Yeah, and I've got to be in Caboolture. So
Yeah.
if I go to Cars and Coffee and then come back, I've got to
Yeah.
leave half an hour before I get back.
But if you want to cruise up with us to Caboolture, we're going to Caboolture at 12 o'clock to Advanced Motorsports on that day. So that's not this weekend, next weekend. Evil 440, yes it is, Dave. You're right, sorry. I should have realised that. Oh, it took me a
thought
bit.
so.
I had
right.
no idea for a minute.
Marv says, oh yeah, for sure.
I've
Yeah,
got to chase
yeah.
that shirt up, bro.
But we all know Tyler's just itching for boost time, so to drag that out would have been more fun to see him squirm and itching to get his boost on. Fex Death said he's a few hours from Eastern Creek, but he could try to get some video if he can get there.
Yeah.
Of course.
If you see the guys there. See
And
Scotty
Rat Fink,
Harker
how you
and
going?
Justin.
Morning, Aussie Nation. G'day, g'day. How you
G'day,
going?
mate. G'day.
And Chris Young's off. Thanks for tuning in again.
We'll be... No, our times won't change. Well, I was thinking we got...
No.
We'll change
We'll be
with...
the same. We didn't move.
We didn't move for
We'll still be
daylight
7:30,
saving, so
yeah.
it won't be any better for RF on that one either. Just thinking timing because it's early in the morning for him.
There's an all-European car meet on at Joe's Diner, 4 p.m. till 8 p.m.
There's also a cruise between... No,
No.
it's
Wrong
week.
weekend. Just,
Wrong weekend.
It's all right. You just...
I'll just
It's
shut
all right. I got the events. Saturdays at Monday's Flagstone, 5:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. Their monthly car and bike meet.
Shh, Dave, shut up.
The February end of month at Harry's Cafe de Wheels, 6 p.m. till 11 p.m. Go and check that one out. I've heard it's pretty big.
That's down
In,
Penrith?
in
Oh,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Krispy Kreme Penrith car meet is on at
That's
Rides
nice.
and Donuts Krispy Kreme Penrith, 7 a.m. till 9:30 a.m. on Sunday the 1st of March, as we've now
Getting a
kicked
few
it
in there
over.
for our Southerners.
There is the Dandenong All Holden Car Show at All Holden Day Dandenong Showgrounds from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. There is an All Aussie Fair Dinkum Day, Lakeside Park, 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. There's the All Jap Cars and Coffee at Kitchen 8, 7 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Did I?
No, you will.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's-
bit early
that's-
for me to get back from the sunny coast. There's-
Oh yeah, Melbourne at the
Yeah.
Euro Show at Joe's.
oh, there you
I
go.
might come for a cruise up. I don't, maybe not film, but maybe just go for a cruise.
All Aussie Day, 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Lakeside Park. Cars and Coffee at Lime J, Cafe Lime J in Morisset in New South Wales, 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. That one on Sunday.
Yeah, Fex knows the one at Harry's. They're always good.
Cars and Coffee Gold Coast, 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. at the Eco Village. It's in Mudgeeraba, or is that Advanced Town?
A bit closer to Mudgeeraba than Advanced Town.
I was just trying to think of where it was. There's the Jap car meet for All Aussie Day.
All these Jap car meets. If only we knew someone with a Jap car.
Yeah, of course.
Something JDM.
The Japanese car meet for all Aussie Day, funnily enough, at Lakeside Park at 9 a.m. till 12 p.m.
If only we knew someone with something JDM.
Yeah, of course.
Probably
Sunday.
should be going to all Aussie Day with all my Holdens, so shouldn't I?
Yeah, and then the Jap cars will come and crash it for you.
Well, they're not on track though. They're
No.
just going to go there. Cruise. They're doing a cruise there,
And they're going to go and
and
hang
then
out.
a show. Yeah, put their cars on
The
the
Sunday
show.
Fun Day drifting is on at Archerfield Drift Park, 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Need to support those guys. They've got a lot of
Mhm.
track repairs to do after all the recent rain.
Mm-hmm.
So, doing a good thing out there.
There's an all-Euro car meet and cruise on the Gold Coast from 90 Michigan Drive, Oxenford.
Another Euro day.
11:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. that one. So 11:30 meeting at Oxenford State School on 90 Michigan Drive, Oxenford. 12 they are cruising up Canungra via Mount Tambourine, arriving at Canungra, lunch at Outpost Cafe, and then hanging out. 3 p.m. they're going to drive down the mountain to Narang Bunnings for the last words, then go their way.
Where else you go?
That's it.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Oh.
Well, I guess I could announce Thursday drift practice is on at Archerfield Drift Park on Thursday the 5th of March, but of course you'll be here watching the live show. So.
There you go.
Oh, actually, no, it finishes at 7 p.m. You could go out there 4 p.m. till 7 p.m.
You can watch
You
it
can
on
still
your way
make the
home.
show. Yeah.
So, there you go. All right. Tyler does have 2 Jap cars now, says James. There you go. See, very JDM.
Johnny Skidpick says you guys need to come out my way. My mechanic has a R34 GDST with a 1JZ in the build, plus a bucket load of great cars around his area. There you go.
I saw a 1J on Marketplace. I think that was today. I saw that. It was under $2,000 too.
There you go. That's
Ready
all
for
right.
boost.
Scott says if only you knew someone with a JDM car, not a JDM boat. And Aaron says next week, boys, I'm off. No worries. Well, we're about
See you,
to
buddy.
sign out now, anyways. So
Yeah, we're coming to an end.
get some music ready. It'll start playing, and then I'll pause it. There we go. It's ready.
It's ready.
Yep.
Bit of our fake ACDC stuff, but
Mhm.
yeah, all right. Well, we've got not much else to go through. I guess we don't even have any more JDM sounds because we didn't line any of those up. I think we would have had them going. Where's my phone? Over there. It's doing all the internet tonight, running through here. Thanks
Hopefully the stream doesn't crash when you start playing.
to NBN Downage. So
Let me see. Do I have more videos?
we got a message here as well. Hang on. Cameron has sent us a message.
Oops, sorry. Pause that. There we go.
It didn't come through.
Oh, we'll have to check that one.
Well, you sent a message. Why is it not coming up? My phone's not bringing it up, but I did see that it said a message, something about. Wasn't sure how to.
He said, "Sorry, lads, can't comment
come
on
up
your
here.
YouTube live video." Well, I'll bring it up. There you go. There's that. Just flip your phone into the portrait mode. If you're watching on a phone and it's like this, flip it up, and you'll find a little button. Hit that live chat button, and you'll be in the chat.
Yep, that's it. You're not the only one. There's plenty of people who have trouble finding where that live chat is.